Okay, welcome back everyone. Paul Chamberlain, the Air Force guy. I'm here to give you a little bit of information on how you can keep your RV from freezing up with this cold front coming through. Now, I'm in the South Carolina area, close to Georgia. It's getting down in the 20s, and it's gotten down to the 20s a few times already. Now, there are a couple different things you need to understand. One thing is if it's getting down into the 20s at night and maybe getting up into the 40s or 50s during the day, or maybe even the upper 30s, you're going to be okay with what I'm telling you. If it's not, if it's getting down in the teens or lower, you may want to be considering, A, at minimum, a heated water hose, or two, filling your freshwater tank up and using your freshwater tank for this cold weather. Now, if it gets that cold, stay tuned. I'm going to go over some things that you might want to do that to keep your RV from freezing, because I have the solution for that as well. But right now, with the way I'm working it, and this is the way I've been doing it, is I am going ahead and opening my gray tank at night and running my hose. Now, because of the fact we're getting multiple days now, back to back to back, I've done a couple other things. Let me see if I can turn this thing around here. No, apparently I can't. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the phone around and show you. So now something you might want to consider doing here is getting yourself a pool noodle and getting it over the faucet. Even in this 20-degree weather, that could be an issue of it freezing. Now, the other thing you might want to consider doing also is putting pool noodles around your low point drains, because the last thing you want to do is have those low point drains freezing up on you. So basically all I'm doing right now is I am opening my faucet. I have my gray tank open. I open my sink faucet and just let it run. Now, I'm not opening it all the way, but let me just show you what I'm doing here. We're going to go back inside and I'll show you. So, but anyway, by the way, there's my studio. But so all I'm doing is I'm just turning on, and I'm just leaving it on cold. By the way, I also leave on my water heater. So I'm just running that water just about that speed, because it's not going to matter. It's not going to, that keeps the water going, and my hose is not going to freeze up. Something you got to consider also, make sure that you open up your blinds during the day, because you will get a lot of condensation. Try to wipe them down, leave them open during the day, and then cover them up at night, because obviously you're going to want to have that. Now, for those of you where it's getting down in the teens, let me show you something else you might want to consider doing. You may want to consider skirting your camper and putting a heater down there. Now, I have a company called Extreme Heaters that is a sponsor of my podcast. Now, I put one of their heaters in my front storage, because this is where the water hose goes. The water hose is coming right up through here, and I have their heater right under here. Now, the nice thing about their heater is it'll come on. It's thermostatically controlled. Comes on at 40 degrees. It'll go back off at 55 degrees. But I'd highly recommend something like that if you don't have a heated underbelly, or if your water's coming here, and then one underneath your camper. But that's kind of my recommendation. And I know I've helped a couple of people. Something else that has come up is the LP tanks, the switchover, the regulator is freezing up. So you might want to go ahead and put something over that to keep it, to make sure you keep it warm, or keep it from freezing, because that could create a problem if you are using propane heat. Now, I did hear of somebody in their camper. Make sure that if you're turning on your sink, whatever one is draining into, make sure that that one is coming out the gray tank. There are some of these RVs out there that have the sink, and it's typically the bathroom sink that this happens to, but sometimes it could be some other sink, going into the black tank. You do not want that overflowing into your camper. That would be a disaster. So be careful. Do what's going to work best for you. Let me know if this is helping you, maybe if this is something you've done. But it's been working for me, just peachy keen. And all I use is an electric heater. By the way, leave your water heater on electric. I leave it on. I don't leave it on the propane. I don't want to waste the propane. I just put the propane on before I take a shower. So hopefully this information helped you. I appreciate you watching, and I'll be back with tips and tricks again later. So take care and have a wonderful week. Stay warm.